Let's go live to Canberra now. Chung Lei joins us. Chung Lei, great to see you. It's such a big day in Canberra. I want to get your insights into perhaps the timing of this visit. What do you make of the timing? And we've just seen, I'm not saying you're a body language expert or anything like that, but we saw the Chinese Premier with Anthony Albanese for that ceremonial welcome. It was very convivial. All smiles, a bit of chat as we saw the gun salute as well.
That's right, Laura. And people who are on this trip with the Premier tell me that this is a very friendly trip. It's all about friends making in the region, and that they're hoping for, a reset of the relationship. But what I've been hearing and what I can give you, Laura, is some colour on the ground from the pro and anti-China demonstrators, which really shows the split in the Chinese community when it comes to China, and also the amount of interference. So my source tells me that he estimates about 30% of the pro-Chinese supporters are probably genuine, and the rest are probably being paid or coerced. And there's even one supporter saying that he had been promised payment, but it hasn't come through. So there's a bit of grumbling there. And he says that the most vocal demonstrators today have been the Tibetans. And in fact, I could hear Free Tibet chants all throughout that, even the 18-gun, welcome ceremony and all the military band and all. Also, another interesting thing is that a masked woman was seen taking photographs of all the protesters, and then she was shooed away. Wow. So I'm not sure what, who's paying her. And also, while I was standing there as part of the group of journalists, someone next to me said that she was a media officer with the Chinese embassy, and she recognized me and struck up a conversation, tried to find out what I'd be doing today, and seemed noticeably uncomfortable. So I didn't tell her exactly what I'd be doing today, but she said, this is a very, very important visit. I said, are you nervous? She said, not super nervous, but she sure looked it. But I'm also hearing from the business community that they think this trip is going well, and that, this will move the relationship forward. But also they do explain that, it's not Australia that's changed. It's not Australia that's been erratic and, overreached in the past 4 years. So we'll see how this goes. And also the fact that Li, for all his economic kudos, is a very loyal Xi man. And the fact that his press conference earlier in the year, at the end of China's parliamentary session, which is the only chance the international media gets to engage with the Premier, was not held, was cancelled. And that's the first time that I've known that's happened. So it's not clear how much of a voice or how much of a free rein that he gets in terms of influencing policy.
I'm not surprised to hear that one of the media officers was perhaps a little nervous to see you present there at the welcoming ceremony. This is, your very presence would be a reminder to them and all Australians of the brutality of the regime at times. Would you fully expect, knowing how the Chinese system works, that they would have had meetings and briefings about you before this visit?
Yes and no. I think maybe in areas they would be keeping tabs on me about what I'm doing, what I'm writing, what my views are. But maybe they have things in the background of what they can do to me, to my family and friends back in China. If what have I said really antagonized them? It's hard to say. Sometimes, they have a lot of things on their plate. And but surely, the fact that 1 minute I'm sitting in incarceration and being raised as a topic at these visits, and the next minute I'm actually covering the visit, is testament to how wonderful freedom is and democracy is. And to be given this voice, I'm just super grateful, and it's a very emotional day for me.
Yeah, is it? Yeah, Lay, I imagine it would be. And we love you. We are so glad that you're here. And I think it's such a powerful message in and of itself. So thank you. But
yeah,
if
this
I could,
is what
yeah.
Australia allows. Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad. What does success look like today for Australia with this visit, do you think?
Well, right now, what we can expect are lobsters and hydrogen deals in WA. We've had the pandas in Adelaide. There's I guess, a show of more friendliness and openness. But what I really want to know are, answers to these questions, like, when whatever happened 4 years ago happened, how do we make sure, what are the guardrails to make sure it doesn't happen again? And there's been a decline in sentiment towards China. Is China concerned? What's China doing to address that? Are we going to send journalists back to China anytime soon, given what happened to me and some of the others? And, where does DFAT stand on this? Are they still advising that journalists not go? Do we have some reassurance? Because we need more nuanced and balanced reporting on China more than ever. So
do you accept?
Just a few of the.
I want to speak to Dr. Yang. He is a political prisoner being held in China. He's been sentenced to death. Do you accept the fine line that the Albanese government needs to walk here? Is it acceptable for you, given what you've been through, that this is raised privately, but perhaps not talked about publicly by government ministers? Is that an acceptable course?
I think more than anyone, I feel for and I understand the suffering. But having said that, one of the things we used to look forward to is going to jail, because prison offers a lot more freedom than in detention. He'll be able to get family visits, for example, and he'll be allowed pen and paper. And the second thing is, more than anyone, especially now, I know how hard the DFAT officials work in the background to advocate for myself, for Dr. Yang. And just because something doesn't seem to be happening or is happening slowly doesn't mean that they're not trying their hardest. And I just want to point out, sometimes rhetoric can get ahead of policy, and I'm not sure that's a good thing. This is why you have diplomats, and especially dealing with China, and given it's such a harsh sentence, and given that Dr. Yang used to work for the Ministry of State Security, and there could be a particular vindictiveness there, and also example setting. And all we can do is raise public awareness and also make it a disincentive for any future, God forbid, no more hostage diplomacy. But I think my being here and people being uncomfortable about it should be one of the disincentives of playing human chess.
Well, being there in Canberra and joining me on the program today is a testament to your strength as well. We love having you, and thank you so much for talking to us today. And I know it is an emotional day for you, so I especially thank you for your time, Lay.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Sky.
We'll see you soon.